Drama City Productions.com.
One who sells herself for financial gain. Morality has been thrown to the wind. All forms of sin are tolerated under the name of power and money.
Welcome, friends, to Twisted Logic, a political and social science podcast that talks about the bizarre facets of human nature as well as current politics and news. Prepare to think twice and question everything.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Twisted Logic. I'm your host, Aaron Cole.
And this is Brandon Fisher.
I almost, for some reason, said Brandon Fisher. I guess it's because I'm looking at you nowadays. I was like, had to stop and make sure. It's like, I'm Aaron, I think, right?
Well, all you need is like the hipster glasses, and I just had to wear my fucking hat backwards, and we might be able to pass each other off here. You know, next week it'll be I'm Aaron Cole, and
there we go. That sounds like fun right there.
Oh,
people
yes.
a little bit.
See if people can tell.
Oh, well, I caught a couple little news stories on the way home today. I was dicking around YouTube while I'm driving, which I do not recommend anybody do. First and foremost.
Do not try this at home.
No, you got to be a very well seasoned phone player and driver. So, no, I came across that there was a shooting today in Aurora, Illinois.
Shit.
Yeah, it was not at a school, thank God. So that's nice. It was at some kind of like a warehouse. It looked almost like a freight center, like unloading and loading shit of trucks. Kind of what it looked like from the pictures. And I don't believe there's any fatalities. Just a couple people wounded, and I think a police officer was wounded also. Hadn't got the guy's name or his ethnicity or anything like that, but something kind of interesting to that happened today.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
People are going nuts this day and age.
Yeah, it's seems like kind of as like maybe like a disgruntled employee or something like that would be my guess. Kind of scenario behind it and everything.
So where was it at again?
Aurora, Illinois.
No, like what? Like was it like a business or?
Yeah, it looked like almost like a warehouse thing where like semis back up to and they load them and shit. That's kind of
okay, like a shipping and receiving dock there.
Yeah. Looks like kind of like what it was like. Yeah, very strange. Seems, and I heard Aurora, and I was like, "Holy fuck, this happened in Aurora, Colorado again." And then I saw it was.
Well, when you said Aurora, Illinois, immediately my mind was like another fucking movie theater shooting and shit. But then I was like, "Oh, that's Colorado," and
that would have been just super fucking weird. And I was like checking to make sure like it was live and everything, like it wasn't just like some old video that popped up and shit. And yeah, kind of trippy.
That's some shit.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I hear some more stuff about it. I'm pretty sure it was probably a white Republican.
Dude, we're just going out there now and saying that.
It's usually what it is these days, for sure. And then I also caught that today was the cutoff for Trump to get some kind of deal put together with the Congress over the wall, and didn't happen today. So he declared a national emergency to help fund the wall. So
big shocker it didn't fucking go through. A national fucking it's a national emergency that we gotta stop what we're doing right now. I don't know why you guys are still fucking watching this video. We got a fucking wall that needs to go up, people. You heard the fucking orange man. We need to go.
I'm gonna stop what I'm gonna call in tomorrow so I can go down there and start helping on it. It's only probably 8-hour drive for me, so I think I can get down there.
I got some fucking 4x4s and shit, some fence posts and shit. We'll fucking go out there ourselves, you and me, like one piece at a time. Just I don't even want the wall up. I just want to shut the fucking man up.
It's kind of, I don't know how much money's in the budget for that. And with him declaring this national emergency, national disaster, whatever, he gets to take money out of kind of like the military's budget to help with this thing. So I don't think there's, God, how much was the wall supposed to be? Like 500 billion or some shit like that? 50 billion?
it's an ungodly number.
Yeah, I don't think that much money is in the budget to do that. So this isn't even gonna build the whole fucking thing.
Oh God, no. And I mean it's fucking crazy. Like I can't remember like what were the hurricanes that hit fucking Florida and Puerto Rico that fucking it was I don't think it was Irma, but it was like it was last year, wasn't it? Those like Puerto Rico's still fucked from these damn hurricanes, and that he didn't consider any of that shit a national emergency, but his little fucking fence isn't going up the way he wants it to, and everyone needs to fucking stop the presses and get on it.
It's sad as fuck. Yeah, I don't think some of the people in Puerto Rico have power still, like some parts of the island and shit.
I mean, as of last year, like last time I checked, it was like October, November. It was still 50% of the country didn't have fucking power to it and shit.
And that's a fucking shame. I know they're not actually part of the United States, but they basically are. They're like a territory.
Yeah, I was just say they're U.S. territory. Yeah,
and we're not taking care of our own people, basically. That's. But
well, when do we ever? Yeah, we gotta keep ourselves contained so we can not take care of ourselves. Like we're quarantining our fucking selves in this country.
If we pitched it like that to other countries, they might build the wall for us.
It's like, aren't you tired of fucking having us around in your countries? Well, bam, build this wall and it won't be a problem.
I can see you making a commercial for Sackamop that's going to be like that.
I'm Billy Mays, and I want this wall. Just have like a fucking hologram Billy Mays doing it.
That I can smell this cooking already.
We need a bigger budget to pull that shit off. So we'll figure something out.
Kind of off topic real quick. I know we did that game show on Sackamop, and we talked about Tusk. I finally fucking watched it.
Oh yeah, I want your thoughts on it.
Oh dude, it was like what the fuck, man. It was easier to watch, a little easier to watch than Human Centipede and all. I don't think I've seen Human Centipede 2 or 3 or 10. I've seen the first one, but Tusk was a lot easier to watch than those. So
it's like a cuddlier version of the Human Centipede.
Yeah, like the old guy, he's all nice about it, and they're fucking swimming and shit in his little playpen, and it's God, the first time it shows Justin Long in that suit thing, I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
It's insane, like, because that whole movie started from a podcast episode, and he fucking wrote the script pretty much in that episode, and then bam, this movie comes out, and like it's a fucked up movie, but I love it. It's easily one of my favorites, and it's my favorite Kevin Smith film. And it's like, it's so fucking original and fucked up and out there. And it's like, he needs to, like, fuck the Jay and Silent Bob movies. He needs to do more horror shit because he's really got a fucking eye for it.
Yeah, it was kick ass. I got a question. I didn't really figure it out from the movie, but like the suit thing he's in, is that
Human
actually
skin.
part of, is he like put in there? Or
Yeah,
is it
it's
like attached to his body?
Well, they don't really go into detail with it in the movies,
Okay.
but in the show and stuff, and when he writes it out, it's he cuts off his legs, and he sews his arms to like elbows, sort of like a crucified T-Rex, as they said. And
That French guy is funny as fuck.
Well,
The
that's
inspector
Johnny-
guy.
it's Johnny Depp. If you didn't
Okay,
know.
I thought it was, but
Yeah, but
that's
he
fucking hilarious.
So they cut off his legs. He sews his arms. His leg bones are actually the tusks that get put into his face, and then he gets put into this suit that was made to fit a human being. So it's like he kind of like sews himself into it, and I guess, like, I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, they don't get him out of the suit. Which is the best fucking ending ever. They put him in a fucking zoo exhibit, and he just comes out to like eat fish and shit.
He just fucking embraces the walrus in him. Fucking crazy movie.
You gotta love a movie that does not have a happy ending at all.
I love movies like that. I told my wife a little bit about it, and I don't think she's ever gonna watch it. So, but her loss, because it's good shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that kind of gets us into our topics for today, or topic, whichever way you want to look at that. But strange addictions.
Well,
Something.
yeah, I guess. I mean, like, it's not the perfect segue, but it's like, I mean, it goes from talking about dark movies to dark subjects. So yeah,
There you go.
yeah, there we go. We made it
little
there.
Yeah, a little bit. I was looking through some lists. I mean, I've watched the show on, I think it's TLC. I've watched several episodes, but I was trying to find some stranger ones besides like eating fucking dryer sheets. That's just stupidity in my book. But
Yeah, I don't know how that's like an addiction.
yeah, that's weak shit. But
Shit's weak.
I was looking for some darker ones. But I think I was like on WebMD or some kind of medical site, and it had just like some I guess some weak ones, I would say, like chewing ice, tattoos. I think eating hair was one. That's a little bit different.
I mean, out of those three, I'd say that's like technically like I'd say there's an addiction to that. Like I like getting tattoos, and my brother loves getting tattoos, and everybody I know who's gotten one, they get the bug and they want more. But I wouldn't say it's an addiction. Like I'm not sucking dick for tattoos,
You ever suck dick for weed? It ain't an addiction.
Bonus man. We
Yeah,
can't quote anymore without copyright infringement.
Oh
so.
shit. Okay. I'm gonna have to chill it out over here. The chewing ice one, I was my mother-in-law, she won't drink water for some reason. It says it like upsets her stomach, but she'll chew ice cubes. So I need to hit her up with that.
Yeah, which is like how does that
Yeah.
but I mean I feel like if you're gonna give something the classification of an addiction, there's got to be a backdraw to it. Like if I go without chewing on ice cubes, am I gonna get withdrawals? I mean, I guess I'll dehydrate if I'm not drinking fucking water and just chewing ice cubes. But I don't see that as like symptoms of withdrawal or anything like that.
Yeah, it was a strange one. And plastic surgery was on this kind of list of addictions, but
it's weird. I know I have mixed feelings about it because like I see I won't say it as an addiction to tattoos, but I could see an addiction to plastic surgery just because of the sheer money amounts that go in it. Like have you seen those guys that like, or the people that hundreds of thousands of dollars they spend to look like fucking celebrities? Or there was that one woman who spent like 150 grand to look like a cat, or like I don't know. Body. I would say it's more an addiction to body modification than a specific thing.
I think so too. Yeah, the money that's involved in it is insane. Like just to get like a boob job, it's like $10,000 at least, and nose jobs. My wife was watching some shit on Netflix the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I want to watch this Bigfoot show," and she's like, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to watch this show. I think it's called Botch Surgeries or something like that on Netflix. Botched Bodies."
Nice.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
check it out if y'all like watching people get cut open and shit. And a couple examples from people that got their plastic surgery screwed up. This one chick went to go have a designer vagina, whatever the fuck that is, a designer vagina.
It's just a bunch of bedazzled fucking pieces around it, and there's a little glitter that's thrown on. If you open it,
that sounds legit to me right there.
If you open it up, there's a disco ball hanging off the clit.
That's what I would assume would be a designer vagina, but
I know, right?
No,
if I designed it.
They messed her stuff up, and like her lips were like hanging off her like a ton, and it was just bizarre. And I think we watched another couple episodes last night, and she was in a few more, and they're still trying to fix her pussy. So yeah, she got her shit all fucked up. And
hashtag fix that pussy.
And one more quick example: this chick went and got a boob job, and it's like a 0.8% chance of this happening. It's like necrosis happens, and there's nothing they can do. Just kind of let it run its course. And
Right.
The one chick's boob on on one side looked fine, and the other one they took off the gauze and everything, and it was just orangey pus shit coming out of where her nipple was at.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I was like, nope, I'm going to bed, guys.
Well, it's funny you mentioned shit like that because I was actually going to bring this up for one of my strange addictions because you told me to we got a few, we're going to ping pong back and forth and shit, and this ties in perfect. My fiance had I'm going to call it an addiction, and I think it is because a lot of people do this or they're into it. Is she's addicted to those pimple popper videos. And I mean, like I like my fair share of gross stuff in like the fictional world. And like we mentioned the Human Centipede. I think that's a fucking feel good family romp if I ever saw one. And like, but and I've seen my fair share of real life gore and fucked up shit. You know, yeah, that real life stuff isn't my thing. So, but I still spend hours watching these fucking videos of like people popping cysts and cutting open it. I feel like it's, you know, it should just be like a one and done thing. Like, you know, I've seen one, so they're kind of all the same. But no, she's like, oh no, this one's different because this is, you know, she knows like the names of the different types and stuff. Like, fucking super into it. And like to the point where I kind of think that if I took them away from her, and like after 2 or 3 days, she would start to get irritated because she couldn't watch them anymore.
Those videos are. I can't watch very many of them. I'll catch my wife watching them sometimes too, and she likes to pick at me and stuff too.
Yeah, she
It is an addiction.
to
Yeah.
me too. Yeah, it seems to be mainly like a lot of women into it. Like, I'm not saying all women are, and like I'm sure a bunch of guys are into that shit too, but like all my brother's wives are into it. Like, I know a couple other girls that like it. So it seems to be a very like widely female targeted audience, which is very strange.
It's oh man, just yeah, like I understand there can be like different kind of boils and stuff like that and pimples, shit like that, but usually just yellow shit comes out of there and sometimes it shoots out. Yeah, I feel like if you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all.
Now I'm gonna. There is obviously exceptions to this rule. Now, if she shows me a video where it's like a fucking Quasimodo, Hunchback of Notre Dame looking thing, I want to see that sucker go down. But I mean, like anything like a normal size. I don't want to watch a dude like the fact that these and like who pays to get zits popped? Like it's insane. Like cysts and stuff I can understand, but a lot of these videos she watches, it's just like people's faces, like, you know, when you're fucking 13 or 14, you just look in the mirror and you squeeze your shit out. Like, yeah. They're paying hundreds of dollars to just have someone use painfully like odd looking tools to just like scrape at your face and get. So I don't get it.
We might have stumbled across like a subculture of addiction with is that like body dysmorphia maybe, or you think there's an actual term for this? Or
I think that kind of fits into it, and I know there's got to be some people who like fetishize this stuff too. So someone's got to be fucking pulling their pud to this shit. It's just
that's a gross beat off right there. Fuck me. Well, a couple of the more bizarre ones that I came across. I don't remember really what website I found these on, but I just kind of wrote them down. I really don't have like a certain order, like 1 to 5 on these. These are just kind of ones I feel that are kind of strange. The first one I would like to mention is drinking human and pig blood. I don't know how many people do this. I probably should have looked at some statistics and shit like that, but all the fucking things to drink and the possible amount of diseases you can get from this, and where are you getting your human blood at, bro?
It's funny you mentioned this one because I forgot you had told me you did this one because I was gonna bring this up also because I have a personal like connection to. I grew up with 2 people, and I was really good friends with them for a long time, and this was the thing that fucking was like, you guys are weird, I'm out. You know, like I'm all for super nerd shit and what have you. But this was like next level vampirism. It was so weird because they brought me into their place and they started to cut themselves open and drink from each other's blood. It looked like some fucking weird like 50 Shades vampire bullshit. I was, but they say they did it all the time, and they had a couple other friends that would do it with them. Like it's so fucking gross. Like pig's blood is disgusting too, but at least that I'm like, okay, well, it's not human. I mean, it's not so bad, but yeah, it's got to be like it. There has to be some sort of name for it, like an addiction to like a vampirism sort of addiction or something to Like, and it's got. I feel like it's maybe an offshoot of Cotard syndrome, you know, where
What's that?
that's the what it's a syndrome where a person that has it believes that they are dead, that their human body isn't actually a living body. They're just a spirit walking around in the living realm. And serial killer Dean Corll was believed to have this syndrome, and he would drink the blood of his victims as well. I kind of feel like that sort of ties into it to an extent to some people, but like what a bizarre thing for people to do.
I think it was on Dark Tourist. Didn't he meet up with some vampires and they had like this whole like little community, and they would like poke each other with like a, I think it was on that show, maybe I'm making that up, but like they would like stab each other in the back with like a scalpel a couple times and sit there and like drink the blood out of like another person. And he's like, oh, it gives me energy, makes my hair look good, makes my skin better. And this dude was fucking ugly looking. I'm like, dude, if you didn't have this blood, I'd hate to see what
If you didn't have this blood. Oh my god.
I wonder how you, I mean, like if you cut yourself, like, you know, you suck your own blood off your finger or whatever, you know, usually I think it helps it stop maybe, but
I would do that to just stop the bleeding. And it's like, and even before I go to my mouth, usually 9 times out of 10 I'm on a shirt or like something else, or I'll just fucking press my finger against my palm to stop it. And even if it is in my mouth, I'm not like sucking on my finger to be like, oh, you know, this isn't bad. This isn't half that bad. I kind of like the taste of copper.
yeah, it's not even a good taste. Like if it fucking tastes like oranges or apples
if my blood tasted like
something good.
fucking strawberry Kool-Aid, I'd be drinking it 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, and I know I don't got AIDS, so it's not like I'm gonna get myself fucking. Although maybe some form of blood poisoning from. Can you get blood poisoning from drinking your own blood?
That's a good question. I know in like vampire movies they can't drink their own blood, but I don't know if that really.
I mean, we can totally go off Hollywood logic. I'm cool with that. I mean, this is twisted logic after all.
Yes, we can go whichever avenue we want.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I feel like if you come across somebody, they're gonna get you sick, or like the pigs too. You're gonna get fucked up off doing this eventually. Like you're just kind of rolling the dice with it. Like you might as well pick up needles out of the trash to shoot up with.
And I know they store, like, I don't know much about like storing blood and whatnot, and but I feel like there's a certain point where you can't, like, does blood have an expiration date? You know what I mean? Like do you have to have like fresh blood to do this, or is this like, you know, oh yeah, I got this from the butcher a couple weeks ago, it's still good?
Yeah, I'm thinking it goes bad at some point.
I'd imagine so.
What was your next one on your list, sir?
Well, I don't want to. I don't really call it necessarily a strange addiction. But I think it's a very real one that affects everybody, and it's the addiction to the internet and to our cell phones in particular. You know, I love this thing, but I fucking hate it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, and when we are all stuck on it 24/7, like I look at it fucking. It's got in the thousands. We all look at these things per day. Like even as we were recording this show, I was looking up at the phone, like looking up the notes for all my shit. It's on my phone. Like we have these little computers that are in our hands that are so fucking neat and convenient. And never mind the dark, insidious things that these things are capable of. You know, we essentially have no privacy because of things like these, and yet we don't care. We just like, oh, we got no problem fucking bending over and taking it because I can look at my Facebook while I'm taking a shit and watch YouTube and do my entire life can be run off this fucking thing.
It's dangerous, and especially like you're talking about, like I think you mentioned this, like the government and stuff like that can look at you if you know you believe in that kind of stuff. But
well, you don't even have to believe in it. Like Facebook, your Facebook app has access to your fucking microphone and your camera, even when your phone is not on. Zuckerberg can be listening to us fucking talking right now. You know, like how do you think Google gets all their fucking like ad, like sorry, like how do you, like, you know, when I could be talking about something with my fiance, and then 20 minutes later, an ad for it shows up on Google, or if I'm typing something in, it'll be related to exactly what we were talking about. Like somebody is listening in on this shit
That's
somewhere.
scary. That's scary shit.
Yeah,
And
and we can't get enough of them though. You know, like
no,
the
not at
next
all.
one comes out and we fucking fork over it. Now they're in the thousands of dollars. Insane.
Sometimes I'll be on mine, I guess mess around with show stuff or just, looking at dumb shit, and I look over, my baby's playing on the floor, and my wife's on her phone. I'm like, fuck, I gotta put the phone down and go play with my kid and shit. But that's a really hard addiction that
And
we're
we're
never gonna really get
no,
over.
we're never are. We're indoctrinating our children at it when they're young. You know, like my niece and nephew got hooked on the tablet when they were like 3 years old because it had all the their videos and Netflix, and there were child friendly games that they can play on it, and they disguise it as a learning tool and stuff, which is great. You know, you can pursue your education on it, and there's a whole wide world of knowledge. But what kids are doing shit for that? Like we got Ben a tablet for Christmas, and so he can play his games and stuff, but also when he does his schoolwork, he can do it on there. And this is the first time like this week he's actually using it for educational purposes. And but we're all fucking guilty of it. I can't say anything about it because I'll do the same thing with my computer and my phone and the tablets, and they're everywhere.
Do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I got an Android. Little piece of shit Android.
I don't remember which update Apple had, but it'll show you like how much you've used your phone the past week. I guess like in hours and minutes and stuff like that, and it'll compare it to the week before, which is
Wow.
kind of scary. But if I ever see mine like go up, I'm like, oh fuck. But actually, it's been going down here lately, so
Well,
with it,
that's
it's
good.
still like I want to say like 2 hours a week or something like that on my phone.
Like 2 hours just like using apps and stuff, or 2 hours talking?
No, just like having my phone open and doing stuff on it.
Well, 2 hours out of a fucking week really isn't that bad,
No,
dude.
it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. I give myself a little pat on the back for it, but
Like I use my
there's-
phone to listen to podcasts all day, so
Yeah.
like it's 10,
Oh.
12 hours on this fucking phone. I'm not looking at it for 12 hours, but I'm using it for that
Mhm.
period of time, you know?
still feeding the addiction.
That's right. Man. I'm just chasing that fucking technological dragon like everybody else.
I saw one that looked kind of weird as far as addictions. The smelling of dead bodies. I don't know how you'd have to be like a mortician or something like this, I guess, to feed this addiction, unless you're like a grave robber, but
Or a
How the
serial
fuck-
killer.
or serial killer. I also don't know how many people suffer from this addiction, but I'm pretty sure it's not many. Fuck, I don't know what to say about this one because it's
Well,
strange.
It is very strange. Like death is a very fascinating subject, and every aspect of death is a fascinating thing. At least in some retrospect or one form or another. Retrospect. My vocabulary is fucking off. Anyway, so I understand why like there's a interest in the death process. Like forensics people like to study the way the body decays and breaks down in different situations, so we can learn how the body actually handles itself. And smells are, it's gross, but it's fucking apart. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of smelling death before, but it's fucking disgusting. It's rancid and it's horrible, and I can't. Thank God I'm not one of those fucking people. But who as long as I'm not digging up, or as long as they're not digging up bodies or like killing anybody to get that stench, then who am I to judge, some weirdo who wants to scoop up fucking roadkill and get a big old whiff of it. It's very fucking out there. And that's somebody that you definitely need to keep an eye on. Maybe go into their basement, just like go with backup. I mean, don't go alone. Obviously,
Never
that's
go
a
alone.
big fucking mistake there. But I don't see how it's I guess because I don't have the addiction, you know what I mean? Like people who aren't addicted to stuff don't understand how people can get addicted to things. So I can't sit there and be like, "Well, how the fuck do you get into that shit?" When I'm sitting here smoking a fucking bowl as we talk about it. I don't know, man. That's a fucking out there one though.
I didn't when you mentioned studying the bodies too, I did forget about that one place. I think it's in like Kentucky or Tennessee or some shit like that. It's like
Yeah,
the
it's an
body
actual
farm
school. Yeah.
where they study that. So yeah, if you're into the smell of dead bodies, yeah, that's definitely a good place to go for you. And I guess police could get their hands on this smell also. But
Do you think do you think that Body Farm does tours? Like they do, they should so do fucking haunted hay rides on Halloween. Oh my god! If anybody working at the fucking Body Farm is watching this show, please do it, and I will pay for it. I'll pay for shit. I'll pimp it out to fucking everybody. We'll get it to happen. Let's do it. I'm all for it.
That'd be trippy shit and really good funding too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, for somebody, there's gonna be a crowd for something like that.
Oh yes. No fucking doubt at all.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well, let me see here. You ended up going through a lot that I was going to talk about. Okay. Well, I got one here. I got people who enjoy sniffing baby powder. Yeah, and there's no people just like the smell of baby powder, which I guess isn't really it's not a terrible smell. It's a little potent for me. So like as is, I don't want to fucking have it up my nose. But it seems to be the only reason why people are snorting it like they are is because they want that powerful scent in their fucking nose all day long. I feel like they could just why not just take a dryer sheet and stick it up there, or you know, like there's got to be like the is it like the not smelling salts, but like some sort of balm that you can put under your nose to like get that sort of smell. Like I don't see the reason why you have to go so far as look like a fucking desperate cokehead just to get the smell of a baby's ass. It don't make any sense.
Yeah, you're walking around looking like you got a $500,000 habit and shit. Just are they just smelling it or like snorting it?
Oh no, like they'd actually break it down and fucking stick it up their noses like straw and everything. I just don't understand why. Like if you're that desperate to snort something, snort coke like a fucking adult. You know, don't. I'm not even advocating doing drugs. Oh, yeah, I mean, do drugs. You know, but fucking I'd rather see someone snorting coke than fucking baby powder. I feel like there'd be something more wrong with you if I walked into a room and you were just had a bottle of Johnson & Johnson sitting on the table with a fucking razor blade.
Yeah, I'd probably slap the shit out of somebody if I saw them doing that. That is a bizarre one. Like I said, it's not a bad smell, but it's nothing that I really care to mess with. And I think when we had our daughter, we never actually used like actual like baby powder. We use like Desitin and shit like that. It comes in like a tube. I don't remember the last time I smelled baby powder, but
it's got a very
that's one for me.
It's got a very sanitary smell, and I'm not like I like having a clean house and stuff, but I can't stand like super sanitized smells like cleaners and whatnot. Like I hate walking into a hospital because it smells fucking. It's got that smell of freshly mopped floors and like bleach and and then there's the very faint smell of death somewhere in that fucking building. You know it's there.
I wonder if there's anybody that's addicted to the smell of like nursing homes.
Oh god. Oh, like when was the last time you walked into a nursing home, dude? It's like it's like piss-drenched carpets and fucking death and stuff. And I mean, I'm not making fun of no one's living situation, but God, I so don't want to be in a fucking nursing home, man.
Me neither. My great grandpa was in one, and we'd go see him when we were kids, and I liked hanging out with the guy and everything, but I didn't like to go there to see him because that was just a terrible smell.
Yeah, it is.
It's like why does he have to live here, Grandpa? He's like, can't take care of him.
Shit happens. What can you do? I'd hate to be in that situation.
I wonder if there's some videos on YouTube of people doing this baby powder thing. So I just want to, just check it out for research. But
yes, research.
research. Fuck yes. Well, I think I had one or two more that seemed kind of interesting. They both involve the drinking of fluids. I guess we can go ahead and talk about them combined.
All right.
Albeit they are different kinds of fluids, but the drinking of urine and gas. It didn't specify if the urine's human or animal, or if the gas is low grade or high grade.
Now,
I'm just fucking around about the gas.
I was gonna say fuck, you had me for a second. I'm like, I know people are stupid. Like people are fucking dumb. But I was gonna say huffing gas, yeah, but drinking the shit, yeah. I mean, drinking pee it's weird. It's sanitary and all this and that. That fucking or sterile, fucking whatever the word you want to use. The only time you could, I'm not saying I'll ever do it. I'll never do it because fucking God forbid I'm in that survival situation where I need to drink something. Like you're goddamn right. I'm fucking bending down and doing what I can to fucking get that shit in my mouth. But no, I'm not good because I know. I was reading stories about people who would brush their teeth with it as well.
Urine?
Yeah, with urine. Instead of you use your toothpaste and then you just wash it down with a good old glass of piss. It's so fucking weird. And then you look at the people who are into this shit and you see their teeth and they're just a permanently coated yellow because it's that they're not just drinking piss, they're drinking Mountain Dew and sodas and all sorts of crap. So it's not even they got clear pee. It's that disgusting dark orange, yellow,
hard smell to it.
Yeah, the asparagus piss that everyone fucking loves so much.
That's weird too. The asparagus piss.
I mean, everyone's got their own thing, but I just, oh God, I don't.
Real quick about the survival situation for pee. I was watching, I think it's Man vs. Wild a while back with Bear Grylls, and he had a little way to put the. I think he was in the desert. It only works if it's hot, but he put the pee in a pan or something like that, and you have a little plastic bag or something like that over there, and the condensation will come up and it'll collect and it'll run off to the sides away from the pee, and it says it's basically like water. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd still have a piss taste to it, but
or just because the aroma is soaked through
it's
plastic.
Bacon in there in the desert.
Well, I also watched one of those shows where they pissed into a clear bag and they formed it into a ball and they angled it up against the sun and they were actually able to start a fire with the reflection coming out of the fucking bottle or the thing of piss. I mean, it's definitely a handy tool to keep in your utility belt. It absolutely is. And if I come across a jellyfish, you better believe it's getting fucking golden showers like there's no tomorrow. Even if it's not on me, I'm just gonna pee on it as a precautionary, get the fuck away. No, you back, you land jellyfish.
It's a miraculous fluid that we can produce, but it's not meant for drinking.
Yeah, it's not something. If I go to a cocktail party and it's a literal cocktail party where it's like shot glasses of urine, I'm just walking out of there.
Yeah, get the fuck out, everybody.
Yeah.
Ugh. And the gas one, I don't know if there's much to really say about it. Like you said, just what the fuck are you doing with yourself? And you're probably gonna die at a very, very early age. So
yeah, but I know it's cruel, but maybe those people kind of should. I mean, not to get dark about it, but the survival of the fittest. Those are the people that really shouldn't be breeding.
Yeah, you're not offering much to humanity with your gas drinking ass. So
well, they are though. They're letting us know. I mean, if they didn't do that, then we'd spend the rest of our lives not knowing the type of person that they are. So thank you for that. I tip my hat.
Oh fuck yeah! Do you have one more you'd like to throw out there?
Yeah, I got one more for you. And it's this one's starting to become more common than I was realizing. And that's I guess the addiction to I want to put air quotes around all of these addictions. uh, whatever. But this is the an addiction to the synthetic dolls, like real dolls, like mannequins, I guess. Like sort of I what was that movie like Her or Lars and the Real Girl, like these people who fall in love with these mannequins or real dolls that like they spend thousands of dollars on them to look like humans, and they have fleshlights in them so you can fuck them and stuff. But it's I. Are people that fucking lonely? Like there was a time where I didn't have any connections with people and I was a fairly lonely individual, but I was never going to spend $5,000 on a mannequin that I could fuck. You know what I mean? Like, is it that hard to just go out and buy some pussy? Just get it out of your system and then fucking. I feel like all these guys. Let's be real. It's guys. It's like women aren't going out and buying these fucking dolls and then falling in love with them. These are like lonely, depressed men. That I'm sure some of them are watching the show at this point. Statistically, it's a big world. Someone's bound to at some point in time.
Leave a comment below.
Yes. If you are, please, I want to hear from you. But it's so weird to like. There's a lot of ways to not declare something an addiction, but when it gets to a point where you're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on something that could be a hobby or it starts to turn into an addiction. And when again, we need to watch these people. Like there are red flags going up all over the place because eventually these real dolls aren't going to be real enough. And he's gonna want the real thing, and it's gonna turn into, like, oh well, there was what happened to fucking Little Billy or fucking Tammy Sue down the road, and they're propped up like that fucking the house that Jack built with like fucking copper or wires and shit, like it's just a stepping stone, you know what I mean, to something that's just sinister.
Yeah, that's fuck. Hopefully nobody ever takes it that far.
Well, I'm sure somebody has already. You know what I mean? Like there's billions of people in the world. Someone's got to be fucked up enough to do shit like this. Maybe we know about it or I don't know. But
they're starting to make some of these sex dolls like kind of like robotic too, aren't they?
Yeah,
where they like kind of talk back and shit like that.
Why do I want my fleshlight to have artificial intelligence? I don't fucking get it. Like. As far as I want my fleshlights to go, I want it to vibrate and be, like full of lube, so I can just fucking have. And even like the idea of using one is a little odd to me. Have at it, people. I've tried them once. It wasn't something that suited me, but fucking, to each his own. But why are we giving everything fucking artificial intelligence all of a sudden? Like does everything need to be fucking linked to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and does my vibrator need to think? Does it really need to have sentient thought to like what? Because I at a certain point I would hope that my fleshlight would be intelligent enough to say no. Like that's the day I'm waiting for. Yeah, exactly. Like I've got a headache.
That's fucking funny. Oh,
we're not far from it, man. We're not.
No, not at all. It's just all going to be connected to Skynet here pretty soon, and the dildos and lawnmowers are going to take over.
If my dildo's connected to Skynet, I mean, I guess not. If Terminator is just like a 6-inch tall, like vibrating stud that's just like, oh, come with me if you want to, like that would be a little entertaining. But I mean,
that would be a good time.
Other than that, like I don't want the robot uprising. If it's Puppet Master with dildos, that's fucking terrifying.
He just got fucked to death, boys.
Oh, snap.
Oh, shit. Well, do you have anything else you want to throw in here?
No, I mean, that's about all the ones that I got for it. I mean, shit, that was a pretty good list so far.
Yeah, I think so. And we can come back and revisit this someday if we come across another little list of addictions.
This is definitely something that we could bring back in a future episode. Like we should start doing like blanket topics, like, and then turn them into series. Is like at some point we bring back strange addictions with more of them, and Like,
Hell yeah.
it-
Like the
it-
sound of that.
exactly.
Well, everybody, thank you for tuning into the show. And if you like it, go ahead and leave us that 5-star rating and review, subscribe, and share the show with everybody because they help the show and make you really cool.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Like peer pressure and shit?
Yeah. If you want to be a cool guy, you'll share Twisted
that-
Logic.
That's right.
You can check us out on Twitter at Twisted Logic Pod and at DramaCityProductions.com, where you can check out other great shows like Sack 'em Up Sundays, the Raw Opinion Podcast, Small Town Mentality, and a whole bunch more.
Yeah, we got Paycheck in Red. You got fucking Who Invited This Guy? Zero Fucks Given, which is a couple like 3 funny fucking women. It's I was just listening to it today. It's fucking raunchy and inappropriate and it's fucking hysterical. They're like it's definitely a great new addition to the network. You got Pro Wrestling Society, Christian and Damon's Amazing Nerd Show. Like there's a wide variety of entertainment to check out at DramaCityProductions.com. So definitely go and check out that site after you get done watching and listening to this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys are fucking awesome. We appreciate the support that we're getting. If you guys have topics that you want us to talk about on the show, feel free to send them to us at Twitter, like you said, over at Twisted Logic Pod. We're always on there answering questions or whatever.
Yeah, and the email, if anybody uses that, still don't ever get emails, but the Twisted Logic
email?
Podcast. Yeah, what the fuck's that? Twisted Logic Podcast at gmail.com. Well, we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that sounds good. Peace. I fucking love that exit. That's a good one.
I don't know where we're going. I guess I'm just gonna go into the living room after this, but I'm going. So
yeah, like what the fuck you guys keep doing here? Turn this shit off. Let's go. Shit. Yeah, you guys see.